Hello, welcome back to the Cutting Edge Review, and I am here with Viewer, and today I will be doing a Terminator Genisys review. Okay, Terminator Genisys. This movie takes place, was supposed to be 1984, where the original Terminator took place, and this time around the timeline has been changed. Uh, Sarah Connor, played by the chick from Game of Thrones, is already trained up when you first see her on the opening scene where she meets Kyle Reese, and where she says, "Now, soldier," and Kyle Reese is just kind of like, "What the heck is this?" He doesn't know what's going on because see, Sarah Connor is a waitress in the original Terminator, and she is he's unaware what happened at the T100. There's a scene where you see her as a child, and he takes her. She's hiding on what looks to be some kind of a little bridge under it, like a wooden bridge, and then you see. I think we could all figure it out that that's young Sarah Connor, because honestly, that's what you get to young Sarah Connor, and he carries her away. And what I like about this movie, to start off with, what I like about this movie is the way Sarah Connor relies on the T800, T100, the Terminator on this movie, and it's kind of like a father and daughter relationship. You know, it's not Arnold, as far as Arnold's concerned, is on this movie. He's the best part of this movie. He's the reason we're watching this movie. He's the reason we would go see this movie. And he does his magic. He still looks like a Terminator. He still acts like a machine, but at the same time, he has a sense of like a human feeling and everything. And Kyle Reese on this movie, played by Jai Courtney, I think his name. I didn't like him too much. He's kind of motionless. You don't know where because see, Kyle Reese, the original Kyle Reese anyway, was played with a certain intensity. You know, he has to find Sarah Connor. He knows that the Terminator is going to kill her. It's like kind of like a psychological. His whole life, he's seen only horror. His whole life he grew up in the remains of Los Angeles. So he has to be played like in like it's the 11th hour. We need to get her. We need to find her, or else the T100 is going to kill her. And he doesn't really display that. He's kind of like he's kind of just there in the background. He says his lines. He's just kind of in the background. He's like, "Oh, Sarah Connor, we have to get out of here. Terminators. What happened?" He's like, there's no emotion or anything. He's just kind of like a robot, okay, almost like a Terminator. And as far as the Terminator, as John Connor on this movie, I'm not really familiar with this actor's work at all, but he does an all right job. He doesn't really. I don't think he really. To me, he didn't really live up to what John Connor does. He doesn't live up to the previous John Connors that I've seen. And I know Terminator Salvation was like a big joke to some people, but Christian Bale did a really great job in my opinion, and of course Eddie Furlong as young, and Nick Stahl on the Terminator 3. He did a really stand-up job, and I think of course the original John Connor. I mean the original John Connor is we don't really get to see him in the first movie, but he's kind of he tries hard, you know. But he's you guys know that he's kind of like if you went to go like he's very like Scientology scientific. He's not really there's not too much emotion, and that kind of like what drags down the movie a little bit. You know, it just takes two bad characters on a movie to drag it down, and that's what I see on this movie. And I kind of okay, Sarah Connor, um, she did a pretty good job, you know. Uh, you know, she's kind of Sarah Connor has to be bad, right? You know, she has the guns. She basically Linda Hamilton played the original Kyle Reese, played him in that style. It's like she watched the original Terminator, and that's what she looked his emotion. She was around him right in the original film, and she kind of brought that to the table. And as far as the storyline is concerned, having John Connor play the new Terminator, I didn't like that. Okay, I was just kind of like, oh, okay. I just kind of went along with it. You know, Arnold's in the movie, and I would be happy. So I was really happy about it that Arnold was in the movie again, and he really shines on this movie. He really does what Terminator does. He gets the job done. You know, he's not like he's not Arnold trying to play a parody of himself, you know, or anything like that. And as far as the storyline is concerned about and then the T-1000 on this movie. I really think the T-1000 should have had longer screen time on this movie, and I like the guy from G.I. Joe who played Storm Shadow plays the T-1000 on this movie, and I like the way they brought the original like all the elements of the original T-100 by Richard Patrick. You know, I mean, I'm sure if Richard Patrick would have came back to do this movie, he probably would have looked like the grandpa T-100, okay, but I like what they did with the T-100, but I just wish that he would have had more screen time, and they kind of just get rid of him earlier on, you know, but he really makes his presence felt. The guy, you know, it was a great performance by him, but it was just too short for my taste, a little bit too short for my taste, and as far as John Connor being the Terminator, it doesn't really say how he became a Terminator. You kind of see a little glimpse when Kyle Reese is gonna time travel. He's gonna jump, you know, he's gonna jump a thing, and then that was it. And you see somebody grab Kyle Reese by on his shoulder, and then he goes whatever. You know, that's about it. You know, you don't really see any indication that he was, I guess, the Terminators grabbed him. They turned him into a cyborg. You know, they don't really see that, and that's a plot hole. Okay, and you'll see a lot of plot holes on a movie because making movies is not easy, right? So, but that and then I didn't like the line where he tries to copy the original Terminator, where he says, "And I will not stop until the Terminators." You know, I didn't really I don't really like honestly I don't like other actors trying to mimic the original performance of an actor who has already done this, and I didn't like that too much. I mean, I kind of think, you know, the girl playing Sarah Connor, which is the now soldier kind of thing, that she kind of did it to a certain degree of like almost a pretty good delivery as far as Linda Hamilton is concerned. But this guy, when he did that, I was just kind of, oh, okay, he's trying to be Kyle Reese. He's trying to mimic a little bit about the original Kyle Reese, you know, and that was fine, okay, but I just didn't think it didn't convince me. But as far as I'm concerned, this movie has action. This movie has, you know, it's a Terminator movie. What do you expect, right? I probably would have to watch it again to really make a honest to God opinion about it. Like, Like I mean, I love Terminator, and like, as far as I'm concerned, this movie gets I give it a hand. I give it five stars, and it's a great movie. I want to watch it again. Give it some time. Wait for it to come out on DVD, and I'll watch it again, and and I'll make my decision. But for now, I think Terminator is 5 stars because of the obvious. The special effects were all right. They're not the best, and the scene where they're on the bridge and that school bus. It's kind of like they were doing it kind of by the numbers a little bit, and they just kind of just settled. If I was okay, let's say if I was trying to mimic James Cameron, and the original Terminator director, I would, I would be a little bit. It's like they were desperate or something. They were trying to find like, okay, let's grab a school bus, let's go to San Francisco, and then they're gonna, all that stuff, and it wasn't really thought out about the action scenes that much. And that's that. Other than that, it's a great movie. It's just an all right movie. And I'll probably end up liking it anyways because I love Arnold Schwarzenegger. I love what he brought to the table. He is the Terminator. He is the movie. And all right, you guys. This is the Cutting Years Review, and I am your